Hello everyone, thanks to the power of the internet, I got to talk with you all, and I'm actually very excited to go over these, because they're just a new reveal. They're called, they're Happy Toys. Not to be confused with whatever the hell toy that McDonald's gives you, but these are something that comes from Craycross. It's Heartluru support, because he's going in the set. And I know a lot of people are going like, it's really basic and telling you how to play. And while I agree with that, it's turning out to be like a really fun deck. And I want to go over it with you all, and hopefully I can convince one or two of you maybe to give it a try. Open up your heart to it. First of all, we have this D starter, and we got a funny little bear. It's a teddy bear, TT. And unlike most D starters, it does have the if you're going second draw, but it has the keyword Happy Toys, which means it's now more useful than 90% of starters. Like, I think the only other grade 0 that has keywords is Trick Moon and Trick Star. But then again, they have an effects for rearguard and not your actual starter that you start with and you draw a card. So once again, this is now more useful than any other starter you could imagine. Going off of that, we have the grade 1. We got a Nutcracker Boy. Whenever you would ride over TT, you will reveal Heartluru in your ride line, and you search your deck for a Toys R for Kids and add it to your hand. Obviously, this is just any Brant Gate card ever where you ride off of a specific grade 0, grade 1, and you get your specific set order. And this is now starting to show where this type of support is going, because its second effect only activates in center back rearguard. So the card's now telling you how to be played. It wants to be specifically there, and when it is placed by a card ability, back there specifically, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, and your bind zone does not have TT, your starter, Counterblast 1, bind it from your soul, the grade 0, search your deck for up to 1 Toys R for Kids, reveal it, add it to your hand, shuffle the deck. I really just like this thing, because not only does it incentivize you giving yourself a booster, it gives you 2 of the 4 set orders you have to play. But what does this magical set order do? And why am I incredibly loving this, but wish Dolls got this set order? Because this plays more Pale Moon than that set order ever could, and I'm jealous. Because Toys are for Kids. If you have Happy Toys Vanguard, so any of them, because they're all Happy Toys, or Heartluru as your grade 3, it gets all of the following effects. When it's put into the order zone, look at top 5, choose 2 Happy Toys, reveal them, put a card among them into hand, put the other into soul. So not only are you deck thinning 2, but you're accommodating hand size and your soul, and you shuffle the deck. But don't worry, this gets better. In the order zone, you can rest it with another one, so you have to rest 2. Choose a Happy Toys from your drop, put it into your soul. Consistency. I like consistency. This thing is just a really good set order. And you play 4 of it, because Heartluru gets really cool effects when you get 4 of them, but we'll go over that. Right now, we gotta continue the ride line. We have a shark, a coaster shark, and I love his design. This guy is just so cool looking. But when it is placed by riding from your grade 1, who could have guessed, reveal Heartluru again, search your deck for 1 Toys R for Kids, add it to your hand. So already, you get 2 off of it, and when you go to the grade 3, if you call the Nutcracker, you get guaranteed 3 set orders. But once again, the card telling you where it wants to be, if it is in the front right rear guard, at the end of the unit it attacked. If you have Toys R for Kids in your order zone, And this unit is placed from Soul this turn. Soul Blast 1, stand it. So that's not bad. It gives the deck some more extra attack just for free for having it in the ride line, and I can't just blame them. But once again, people are going like, oh, it's telling you where to place them. This one has to be in the front right. Nutcracker has to be specifically behind the Vanguard. And you're just going to see more of that the more we talk about Heartluru's support. Speaking of, what does he do? I love him. He's Willy Wonka. During your turn, if your order zone has 3 or more toys are for kids, all my front row get plus 5k. That's cool. He's going to end up doing more. Once again, he's an energy blasting 3 Vanguard, so sadly he has no premium effect. At least consistency effect, I should say. Choose a Happy Toys from your soul. Up to the number of toys are for kids in your order zone, call them to rear. Meaning, if you have 4 set orders, you Energy Blast 3, call 4 Happy Toys. You're just going to be playing Happy Toys anyway, because that's his archetype. So you can't, sadly, do that in Premium. Sad days. However, he has one more effect. Once per turn, when he attacks, if you CB1, you perform all of the following based on the number of toys for kids in your order zone. 2 or more, so what you're specifically going to get from your ride line. Choose a Happy Toys in your front row, stand it, and it gets 10k. So if you pair that with the shark, you get 5 attacks. Neat. One of them's getting 10k, the other one just stands. If you have 3 or more, so if you've called the Nutcracker off of its first effect. Note, if you go back to the grade 1, here we'll pull up his photo, just for conveniencies. His is if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater. So you do have to going second to get all 3, but that's not too bad. Oh, that's the shark. Continuing with Heartluru. Hey, this unit gets 5k, so it's a 23 if you didn't Persona Ride off of its first effect. If your opponent is grade 3, you get Dry plus 1. I like Dry plus 1. Sadly, this thing deck thins incredibly fast, so this can be more of a hindrance towards late game. So this deck really focuses on kill your opponent as fast as humanly possible. But what happens if you have 4 or more toys are for kids set orders? Choose a Happy Toys in your front row, stand it, and it gets 10k. Note how that's 2 or more as well. So if you don't have the shark, you just restand 2 rear guards in your front, meaning it's a 5 attack deck anyway, and your whole front row is getting plus 15. God, that's already hitting magic numbers. I'm so proud. Alright, but of course, you need more support to actually be a deck, so moving on, we got this dinosaur Lego guy. I love him, Block Horse. Once again, this is going to be a huge thing you'll see. It's telling you where it wants to be played. So this is back right rear guard. So this would normally be boosting something like Shark, because that's front right rear guard. This gets intercept and can intercept from back row. And if your order zone has Toys Are for Kids, it gets shield plus 5. So that's pretty cool. You get a 10k shield and an 8k booster. You can't really complain. If you heard my heater going on in the background, I'm sorry. This card, I love it. I love him so much. I will be lovingly calling him Fat Fuck Dragon. How long am I into the video? YouTube allows me to swear at least once, right? I've done it before. I don't know why I should be complaining. So what does this actually do? When it's placed on rear guard, meaning even if it's placed from the soul, which if you've also noticed, all of these things just happen when they're on place. It doesn't matter from hand or on soul, from drop, wherever, they just get their ability, and I love that for them. Because on place from hand specifically, or placed on rear, not from unit's effect, you can counterblast 1 and draw. hey, guess what? If your opponent's a grade 3 or greater, it gets 5k. Meaning already without a Persona ride, if you have 3 or more of those set orders, you just get a 20k rear guard. Now hold on a second, because he's funnier. When he's in the front left rear guard and is stood by Heartluru, it goes critical. So not only do you just have an annoyance of, here's 20k, it's going to restand, 20k crit. I love him. I love him so much. He's just also really good because it's just CB1 draw. Alright, continuing though. This is probably one of the world's most important cards for the deck and gives you so much consistency. When it is placed on rearguard, if you have your set order, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose one card from among them and put it into your soul. Note that's placed on anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter where, you just deck thin. I love this card. I wish Harry had this card. I might even just throw in Toys Are for Kids just to play this in Harry. However, specifically in the back left row, so this would be boosting Fat Fuck Dragon. Hey, if a Happy Toys in the same column stand this one too, and if you do, retire it. Which you kind of want, because once it's retired, you can use your set orders, throw it back into Soul, and use Heartluru's Energy Blast 3. Don't forget the magical gain 3 energy per turn, blast 3 energy per turn. You're always going to have that effect. You just call this back and deck thin again. And don't forget, Heartluru, you just choose any Happy Toys. You can choose 3 of these in your back row, and then deck thin 3. You are going to be hitting triggers so consistently, it's maddening. Alright, last but not least, we have a Giant Bear. When it is placed on rearguard, Soul Blast 2, choose a Toys R for Kids from your drop or damage, and put it into your hand. So you are basically dealing with the BOV issue, where if you've damaged your set order, because you want all 4 obviously, because that's put 2 back every turn, but also Heartluru restands the whole front row, minus himself. You just need to always see them, and there's always going to be a game where you damage them, or maybe you know you are about to play this, so you discard it for ride, and basically it ends up being free. Because Soul Blast 2, you're playing Pale Moon. The rabbit fuels that. Your set order fuels that. Hell, if you want to be funny, I don't recommend it. Play Soul Fronts. Get that for free. However, if it's on the front right, when it is stood by the ability of Heartluru, it gets, during the battle this attacked, your opponent would call a Guardian that must call 2 or more, and it gets 10k. Wow, isn't this thing annoying? Because now, it's a 25k on the... Alright, I've done my math terribly wrong. So it will swing. If you haven't Persona Ride, Heartluru will give +5, right? So it's 15. It's going to restand, Heartluru is going to give it +10. This effect will activate, getting another +10. So it swings 35, and your opponent has to use 2 or more cards from hand if they want to block this. That's just honestly annoying for them. And pair this with Fat Fuck Dragon, you have a guard restrict and something you will always go critical with. I couldn't ask for any more than what I've been given, but I can and I will. So if you note, Fat Fuck Dragon has to be top left, this has to be top right. Hey, the soldier has to be behind Vanguard. The rabbit has to be behind, the dragon. The block dragon, the block horse, whatever this thing is, has to be behind, the teddy bear. It's telling you how the field wants to be built, and for set 1, this does a lot. I'm going to be having a lot of fun playing this. But that's where some people have an issue with this deck, is that it lacks originality, because you're being told to get the best effect of your unit. Call it specifically here. They're calling it hand-holding. And honestly, I don't really see this. This deck is really fun from the few playtests I've had with it. And it's just kind of a soft lock, if anything, of this has to be here. But that doesn't mean it can't go there. Like, if you need a booster, if you call Block Horse, that's fine. It doesn't have to specifically get its intercept. You can just keep it in hand too, and here's a 10k shield. Oh, excuse me. I'm getting too passionate. Now, some of you might be asking, what else should I add in here? Who could have guessed? You have an order? Philia? Free soul, free draw? Who could have seen that coming? Amethyst, because not only does it offer counter charge, but it's also just another 20k shield. So, we love that. I don't understand why people would want Wrestler. Like, I get it gets your set orders ready and available, but you already consistently can already see all of them. Because, once again, this gets you 1. Technically, this gets you 2 if your opponent's on grade 3. Hey, guess what? Who gets you another one? Your Shark. That's 3 already. You don't have to care. Oh no, it ended up in your damage. It ended up in your drop. The bear says Soul Blast to get it. Play order per turn. In fact, I sometimes wish I could just get rid of the order in my order zone, so I could bear just to get the on place of the order again, because it's just top 5 choose 2. You're just deck thinning for triggers. Speaking of, what should you do? Obviously 8 crit. Please don't run draw triggers, so that leaves you with fronts. I said you could run soul fronts, but I honestly don't think you need it, so I think shield fronts are definitely the way to go. And this just leaves you with which over trigger should you play. You can play Dark States. This is a very just powerful over trigger. Because now everything is basically getting plus 15 to your front row, and you didn't even Persona Road, and now Heartluru has a crit. Please don't do this. While the retiring of your opponent's rearguard is nice, you already deck thinned way too much that drawing is going to be very catastrophic for you. This one is the same reason I sometimes tech this into Magnolia, because my Care Bear gives this 100 million elsewhere, so I'm basically doubling this trigger. And Care Bear once again will stand, and I can use its effect again. Have you guys noticed that this restands a unit? Wouldn't it be so shame if your opponent had to discard 2 for Sentinel for every time this swung? Or, hey, this thing is critical, you now have to guard this? Oh, look, it restands? Oh, look, it restands from Heartluru again? Oh, no! Because don't forget, this chooses a standing rearguard. Hey, it's standing. Heartluru restood it. It's a valid target. You don't really need blue because you have the set orders. You're already getting your toys back, so you would only be getting a PG or a trigger back to hand, which kind of lowers the value of this. Same reason for kind of purple, because you can just heal out your toys and just throw them back in whenever it's more convenient for you. Though, I guess choosing something from your damage could be cool. You don't have to Soul Blast 2 for the bear. Or, this just gives you another attack if, let's say, you've somehow lost your consistency, just giving you more multi-attack and giving it plus 10. Or if you really want to be funny, call the rabbit to activate its on place to thin during your battle phase. And if you're really going budget, you have 2 restanding rear guards. This is just basically, if you don't have red, play this or Dark States. Because now your 2 restanding front row, or one of them, now has 100 million. Your Vanguard have 100 million. It's just really funny. But once again, that's just kind of what Heartluru does. You get your set orders. You get a god massive hand. You restand your boys. You attack with Fat Foot Dragon and the Teddy Bear. Rinse, repeat, win the game, hopefully on your turn 5 after you've Persona'd. So just rush your opponent down. You're incentivized to do that. Like, Rabbit just happens. Your set order just happens. Go. Go ham. Your opponent retires? Fine. Set order, add him back. Heartluru, call him back to the board. Rinse, repeat. Win the game. I love that this is more Pale Moon, probably than what I've seen with Lukier. Definitely more than what with Harry is, because while it's not getting in and out of Soul, it's getting that consistency. It's just a lot of fun. Please play it. I can't give this deck enough high praise, and I'm looking forward to more of the toys that come out with it. I just wish they would have been called Magia dolls or something close to that, just so it could be more premium, exclusive, compatible, I should say. Because the Magia dolls need a lot of love and support, and this would have been a really fun tie-in. But outside of that, small critique, I think this is really cool. And if you have listened to all my ramblings, which is a lot, oopsies, I hope you try to pick this up, or read Cray Cross, because he's a fun little character.